So yeah, people know about the concept of executes, right? But to go further into that, what I realized when it comes to approaching a team, there's a good way to go about this. How I kind of approached it for a long time was like, okay, you have a certain execute. Let's go to B site for an example. Smoke CT, smoke coffins, Molly emo, Molly new box, Molly first and second oranges. The way I would approach it is like everyone should know how to throw all these pieces of util, so that you can throw this execute whenever you need to, which is true. Your whole team should be able to throw a piece together execute with whatever combination of util that you have, because you know you can always plan to finish B site and so can be missing a flash, so can be missing a molly, and it's all mixed and matched around. So everyone needs to be able to throw a piece together execute with a different variety of combinations, right? But if you ever wanting to execute phase one, if you ever like end up calling executes or set plays like a pop phase one, this is where you should make it set in stone on who does what exactly. It's really hard to have an execute set in stone where like, oh, you're the dedicated entry if it's a phase 3 execute, because your entry might be dead already, or your entry might have a full util set, so now he can't entry, and you know, your clutch player is 1 HP with no util. He should actually entry this round. So there's two different types of executes, right? You should have your phase 3, you know, phase 2 piece together executes where it's kind of sloppy. Everyone knows the general rule of thumb of how to, you know, approach it. There's not really set rules to it. People know how to throw all the pieces of util on their own. But if you're ever doing something phase 1, first 30 seconds around, you know, you want to get it done as soon as possible, these are the executes that you should actually set in stone and make them your set plays. So like an example would be like a B pop, right? Phase 1 B pop. Okay, the way we run on our team is that Rob always throws god flashes, because we can actually accurately calculate the util, who has what util, because it's as soon as possible. There's no mid rounding, there's no taking brackets, there's no app stuff. It's just like we're doing this as soon as possible. So, you know, Rob always god flashes. For example, I'll smoke CT on the fly. Then I'm the entry. Paula can know that he's supposed to be second entry. We're entry duo. Yada, yada, yada. You officialize this strat, and you have actual set roles for this. So the way you should approach your maps, like any map, is to have officialized phased 1 strats, and then have your piece together ones. Because for the longest time with this team, for like as long as we've been together, we've never had that many set executes or pops for phase 1 stuff. We just would piece together it phase 1 all the time, and it would lead to sloppier takes, which in phase 1 you need to actually have set roles and stuff more than you would in phase 3, because there's more counter util and more ways for the CTs to actually fuck up your execute. So this is where, like, when you actually have deep protocols with the execute. For like an example, phase 1 B exec, we have like Paula sitting here with a flash ready in case they smoke us. So now we're countering their counter, and like these are what these phase 1 executes are really good for. You know, you want to have set roles, set protocols, who does what, who clears what. You know, Paula knows that he's clearing boost, yada yada yada, stuff like that. But when it comes to phase 3, you can't track these things accurately. You can't track util accurately. These should be, you know, pieced together, and then you could kind of just trust your players to like fill in the gaps as needed, because hopefully they have experience for this. You're always going to encounter different reactions and people dying. So yeah, so that's the thing too, because I agree with that you could also have been conditioning something as well. So how I've done approach it with the team is that these phase 1 strats that I have set up, like B executes, whatever, A executes, there's a certain amount of flex that we can have to it, where it's not like full 5-man util executes. Like there's a certain amount of flex where like Nico has the ability to come A, throw condition util, brackets util, and then we can actually come back and hit this, where like the execute is loose enough for those for wiggle room of conditioning purposes across the map, and also wiggle room that if something does end up going wrong, someone gets picked, we can still fill it in phase 1. In general though, if you're ever gonna do something phase 1, this should try and be as specific as possible.